Welcome back to Glowing Card Gaming. Tonight, we react to a Modtricca video, and more Hollow Knight later tonight. Now, your host, Adam. Hey everybody, welcome back. Got a major announcement. It's actually a really good announcement. The channel has hit 100 subscribers. We got 100 subscribers. Thank you, everybody out there who does like, subscribe, share, comment, all of those things. We've made it to triple digits on YouTube. We also got a new one on Kick. We're back on Kick. Got that one up and going. So we should be back up there. We got to 19 on that last night. So that's great. We're up to 39 on Twitch. So all of them gained across the board. So it's starting to move in the right direction. We're only 900 more away from being possibly monetized on at least YouTube. I think probably could make it there faster on Kick and Twitch, because I think you need fewer numbers to do that. But tonight we're doing a Modtricca video, and then after that, sorry, this is kind of loud on my headset, so turn it down a little. So we're gonna do a Modtricca video here, and then more Hollow Knight tonight. Got on a little earlier, so we should have enough time to get everything done. I don't know what else to say. Here we go. Let me share. We're on his page. I know it looks like we watched this. I may have clicked on it. But sometimes when I click on it, it shows the whole thing watched, even if I watched like 2 seconds of it.
Yes, sir.
Nope. Yes, sir. I'm back. You're back. All right. Gotta do. Wait, before we do that. Can't do this screen. All right. Here, let's close that one. Close off the music, and now we'll go full screen. Here we go. I hope you enjoy these as much as I do.
Modtricca, back up in this thing, man. Today, we'll be taking a look at some mysterious videos that you're probably not prepared for. But before we hop into that, go ahead and spam that like button right now so we can run the numbers up on it.
See, it makes it sound like there's going to be some... I mean, there are some weird, really outstanding videos. This is why I like Modtricca, because I think he shows... I mean, they're not all paranormal. Sometimes they're just weird. Weird. Like a Glitch in the Matrix one where the bird isn't flying, it's just hovering in the air. And they've had airplanes that do the same thing. They just stuck. Like, people are driving, filming it, like, why is it airplane just saying? I think it's some video editing, but who knows? But I like that he doesn't have just ghost paranormal stuff. Sometimes he does. Sometimes it's weather phenomena. It's just a great mix of just odd videos.
Algorithm, and you ain't even got to think about it later. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button to sub up. Join the family. This is the most lit and active community on YouTube, period. With that being said, guys,
highly recommend it. They're great videos.
Did you look at this?
What?
Just look at this. This is supposed to be an orange. And I can squeeze it and it puffs right back up like a sponge.
I've seen more and more fruit like that too.
What you put in your bodies, because they giving us fake fruit. It don't have a stem, it don't have no seeds or nothing.
It should be a crime to sell this at the grocery store. This looks like a genetically modified Nerf ball.
I wonder where she got it. Ooh, we got a $2 bill. Yeah, Illuminati symbols. Yeah, everybody out there, if you work retail and you've never had a $2 bill and you think, oh, that's got to be counterfeit, Nope. It's a legit legal tender. They make $2 bills. And I know why they make $2 bills, or at least one of the main reasons that they made $2 bills and still make $2 bills. It's for dog tracks and horse racing. They have certain bets that are $2 bets, so people would like to have the cash, a $2 bill cash. Say take them to the track, and it's easy. Just give them the bill. It's a $2 bet. You're off and running, or your dogs are, or your ponies are. But yeah, that's why it was just an easy way to trade for a bet at the dog track. Yeah. Anyway.
Some people believe the $2 bill is cursed by the Illuminati, with hidden symbolism found in the words $2.
You can rearrange the letters like a game of Scrabble, and you can get two, T-O, owls, lard. If that doesn't make any sense to you, welcome to the club. But people touting this say, well, you see, it means if you go toward the owls, the owl being the symbol of the Illuminati, and if you fold the $2 bill a certain way, you can see that it makes a very nice looking owl. And then lard means wealth, or did at a certain time, about 18th century, that somehow two owls lard is supposed to be a statement that subliminally might influence people to join the secret society.
I think by now we all know that in the occult world, the owl is just another symbol for Moloch. So if we retranslate this, it probably means if you want to get wealthy, you got to worship Moloch. I'll pass.
For those who don't know, Moloch, at least I think Moloch. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure. I thought Moloch was the god of money. I want to think that it is. But as I was saying that, I'm like, no, I think that's something else. Someone else. They're all fake. Doesn't matter. $2 bill's real. Go to the bank and get you one. I think before they get rid of all the money. They already got rid of the pennies. No more pennies. I got nothing. Oh, I do got something. So really, and I liked the guy he had on announcing and debunking that stuff, because that guy had the attitude of, I don't believe in any of this. And you can fold the bill any which way, and you're going to get something out of it. You're going to, all of a sudden, you'll realize and connect the dots to something. So if you seek, you will find. What is it? Got rid of the alien. Oh. This is that guy who had the alien plant. I don't know if any of you have seen that. Weird looking alien plant. Supposedly came out of a little meteorite that hit near his house. Now it's flooded? What is happening? That looks like the alien right there. Oh, that's him getting rid of it. Somebody knows where this is. They're going to go get it. So if you don't know, there's this little rock that he had. It was kind of smooth and kind of polished. Didn't look like my idea of a meteorite, but supposedly it struck somewhere near his house, and then he was studying it and playing with it. Then all of a sudden, that thing that you saw in the water, that black tentacle-looking thing, started growing out of the stone. And there's video of him doing that, so you can look it up on there. I'm not going to play it here. Oh, this is the guy? That's what he looks like?
I feel like there was a much better way to get rid of this thing besides throwing it into a random pond. He might come back in a month and it looks like a full-blown Leviathan.
Wait until you hear why governments around the world conspired to get rid of the BlackBerry. We all remember this iconic phone that literally everyone used to use. For years, BlackBerry's BBM and BlackBerry's enterprise server were the gold standard of privacy. 100% encrypted messages and emails used by diplomats, used by politicians, also high-ranking CEOs. Now, it made this phone very politically valuable, but also politically threatening. After all, you couldn't, spy on a population, if that's what you're going to do, with completely encrypted messages and emails. This is when countries from India to the UAE to Saudi Arabia to Pakistan started threatening, the BlackBerry Corporation, labeling this phone as a national security threat. At the time, there was a lot of pushback when it came to this because, this was a very popular phone. Of course, we all used it. So there just happened to be a couple of events that happened that, really got this thing moving forward. Perhaps the greatest catalyst of the destruction of the BlackBerry was the 2008 Mumbai attack. After these terror events, it created the perfect cover story in order to demand access to all of these encrypted systems, have the people speaking to each other, being able to see it. And a big reason why these phones just disappeared off the face of the earth. Let me know what you think about this theory on the BlackBerry in the comments down below. Peace and love.
This kind of makes me want to start a petition to bring the BlackBerry back so we can have some actual privacy. Because if you have an iPhone these days, you might as well be in a group chat with the CIA.
The Marfa lights fall into a broader category of light phenomena we often refer to as ghosts.
As Gozer, the Gozerian. I can see that point. That if the government wanted to track us and we had fully encrypted devices and phones, there's no way they can do it. So they globally put pressure on BlackBerry to get rid of them. I wonder if they still have them, if you could get one, how much it would be. BlackBerry should just come back and just totally take over the market, because privacy and security are a huge, huge, huge thing right now. So if they came back, I would imagine they'd just crush it. I'd buy stock.
Lights. Ghost lights are these anomalous sources of light that appear and disappear
Ball lightning
at random in a given area. People have no idea where they come from.
Banias explains that ever since the first documented case of the lights was reported by a cowhand back in 1883, there have been plenty of theories as to what they could be.
The local indigenous group in the area, the Apache, believe that these lights are
like
ghosts of a long-dead chief named Assalte.
From the way they describe Marfa lights and ghost lights in general, it kind of sounds like plasmoid. He
cut off this dude, like it cut off the video in the middle. Interestingly enough, but I do agree, plasmoids or ball lightning.
A giant meatball made from flesh, cultivated using the DNA of an extinct woolly mammoth, was unveiled at a science museum in the Netherlands. The meatball was created by Australian cultured meat company Dow, which said it wanted to get people talking about cultured meat, calling it a more sustainable alternative for real meat. The meatball was made of sheep cells inserted with a singular mammoth gene for
Sorry, I'm taking a moment here. It's gross. This is really gross to me. I get that, like, we have genetically modified food or GMO, but what that is they're just taking the best traits and modifying the organism. So it's like selective breeding. It's literally the same thing. GMOs and selective breeding, kind of the same thing. You want stronger, better bulls, more meat, tender, tastier. You breed that. You breed that in. The same thing. If you want a certain type of dog breed, you breed it in. This is manipulation on almost a genetic level, a cellular level for sure. And that is just, to me, gross and wrong. I would not touch this. I would not eat it. No way. Almost feels like another nightmarish Jurassic Park type of scenario.
Was myoglobin. Since the mammoth's DNA sequence had a few gaps, African elephant
Why is
DNA
there a
was
giant
inserted
spider on the wall?
We won't.
Anyone else
eat
just
the
see
mammoth
that?
sequence had a few gaps
Look
in
at-
cells
look at
inserted
it.
with a
Look at
single
when it comes
mammoth gene
across.
called myoglobin. Since the
Look.
mammoth's DNA
Giant-
sequence had a few
Oh, maybe
gaps,
that's a
African
crab.
elephant DNA was inserted to complete it.
We won't
Okay.
eat the mammoth meatball right now. And it doesn't mean that you can't eat it. But because this protein is literally 4,000 years old, we would want to put it through seriously rigorous testing like we do with any product that we want to bring to market.
The company hopes to put cultured meat on the map in the European Union, a market where such meat as food is not regulated yet.
I don't care how much testing they do.
Europe is surprisingly fast to regulate. Way faster than the U.S. Way faster. There are things that are illegal in Europe that are bad for you that the U.S. still allows today. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look it up.
Dude, I'm not about to eat a meatball made from 4,000-year-old mammoth DNA, because as soon as you finish it, you're going to need 4,000 gallons of Mylanta to get over that tummy ache.
There. Under the clouds. I can see the hole, look. You can see where they've opened it up. Is it going to be symbols?
Whoa.
Looks like it. Here's the next piece in the puzzle, guys. Oh, this looks like the one that was out there the other day. This looks very similar to the one that we saw the other day.
Zoom in? I can't see. It looks like a square little box. What's that? Okay. What this looks like, it looks like one of the tops of the things on the building that kind of house the air ducts and the ventilation coming out. Or it looks like a high-rise with a house right on top and little trees. It's almost what it looks like to me. You know, double doors on the left side, a roof, a little antenna for TV signals, little pine trees on the outside. I don't know.
I feel like the majority of UFO sightings that we see these days are just secret military technology, but I've never seen one that has a cubicle structure like this, so this one might not be ours.
You will be one with the Borg.
Massive update on the Boogosphere. You guys, I'm almost speechless. The people that have been saying this is a hoax, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because carbon-dated samples, the results are back.
Carbon dating has been proven to be flawed. I understand where everybody's coming in the half-life, and I understand the science behind the half-life and like the radiation pulses from, or how many pulses you get from a certain object, and they deteriorate every so often by half, and then half again. So then you can kind of get how long something has existed by how long those pulses are. But I can't remember how there's a certain there's certain something, I can't remember what it is, that have proven carbon dating to be unreliable.
And it was sent to the University of Georgia. Now, for those of you that have no idea what the Boogosphere is, it's this. It was flying around in Colombia back in March. It hit some power lines. It went down, and some men retrieved it. And there's been a lot of debate over whether this is real or fake, and this is added to a playlist.
And if they retrieved it, like, who has it? I can tell you if I found it, it'd still be here in the house. I might show it on camera. Maybe not right away. But I don't know. I don't know why they gave it away.
So you can catch up. I know this is really small, but we're going to go over the results in bigger print. 12,560 years ago was what the resin from the Boogosphere was dated. The report summary, we know it went to the University of Georgia in Athens, Georgia. The client is an LLC that Stephen Greer has. The sample was received on September 12th. The date of the results was September 19th. The analyzed material was resin. The carbon in this resin last exchanged with the atmosphere 12,000 560 years ago. The margin of error is 30 years. So roughly dated to 10,600 BC, around the end of the last ice age. This confirms it is not a modern material. So
what's it made
there's
out of?
that.
This study has me open to the possibility that the Boogosphere has alien origins or some sort of ancient lost technology. But if I'm playing devil's advocate, the resin could just be 12,000-year-old fossilized amber that they use to perpetuate the hoax. Let me know what you guys think.
Oh, well. Yep, totally. He's right about that. Okay. Already, these are kind of my specialty on this is a paranormal one. So somebody, either they are dying or they did die. It looks like a hospital. And she's going to show a ghost here. But I'm telling you, there's so many ways you can fake this. So unless you're actually there seeing it and you know there's nothing weird about the room, there's no way they can holographically project anything, which has been something they've been able to do for 50 some odd years now. Pretty convincingly, too, with the new Halloween stuff. A lot of that's really cool. You should go check it out. But what we're getting ready to see here, don't necessarily believe it.
Heavenly Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing this home of any negativity, fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell in every corner, and love be the foundation of every wall. Bless this home with your protection, surrounding it with your angels, and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
It looks like whatever it is they're trying to cleanse from this room just tried to snatch that rosary. They need to call in the professionals.
I've been telling everybody how aliens can cloak themselves with their uniforms that they wear. You have tall ones, you have short ones. Now you're going to see a video coming here of the most unbelievable thing you've ever seen. This is why I tell you, those ghost hunters are not chasing ghosts. They're chasing aliens that are cloaked. The little white spheres.
We differ on what to call them. Personally, I call them demonic. Ghosts, aliens, demonic. They all seem to be one and the same.
Seeing ghost hunting videos? Those are not spirits. Those are microspheres that are spying on us. They can go right through the walls, record everything we're doing, take biometric scans of us, see what we have diseases, what kind of food problems we might be having, how it's affecting our bodies. There's all kinds of things that we know in the government what those are. But ghost hunters really like to think they're chasing ghosts. This video is going to change your mind. When I tell you aliens can cloak themselves like their ships they cloak, check this out.
So for a while now, I've been putting out a trail cam at night, hoping to catch some wildlife around camp while we're sleeping. And with my granddaughter, who just loves wildlife, I'll go get deep. I could show her some night pictures of what's walking around at night while we're sleeping. I must admit, I haven't had any luck so far. I've put out the camera many times and never captured any footage. But tonight was different.
Dun, dun, dun! Hold on. Yeah, I saw it walk across. I'm seeing it walk back.
This could be some of the most incredible alien footage ever.
It could be. But we do have cloaking technology of our own. This could be somebody that's cloaked. I do agree. It's possible. But this could also be an edit.
Were recorded. The only thing that makes me question it is the fact that everything is cloaked besides its eyes.
Okay, so this is at my...
Sorry, was just thinking about what he just said. Everything is cloaked but its eyes. Well, yeah, you could have the cloaking technology in front of it, but night vision tends to bring out, and that's why they're glowing, and you can see them even better. Animals and people generally have this, although people it's tougher. They don't have it near as much, but a lot of times you'll see that, especially with cats and dogs, they have this light Sometimes you'll see it on the camera. It'll glow yellow or blue, sometimes red, green, different colors. And it's just light. I don't know what it is exactly. Light reflecting from the eyeballs of the animals. I think that's kind of the same thing what we just saw.
Good job last night. Well, this morning, 2 a.m. Somebody drove up by himself. No one's in the car with him.
Steelers fan.
Puts his code in, goes in, and then boom. Where that bitch came from.
She's either an actual time traveler or this is an NPC spawn.
Sorry, I have a hard time thinking she just popped out of nowhere like that. I've seen where the internet goes out for a second or two, and the feed kind of freezes, and things can move around. More often, what you'll see is it's so short that somebody will be walking, and then everything freezes, and then they jump to a different spot. That's what happened here. Everything froze, but since nobody was in the frame walking, she came from somewhere outside of the frame. I don't know where. It looks like there was a pathway in between the buildings that she could have come out of. Then when it got signal again, boom, she appeared.
What if I told you there's a family in Europe that you've never heard of that secretly controls the entire continent? In fact, their far-reaching tentacles reach around the world. And it's nothing new. This has been going on for hundreds of years, and they continue to have a hand in how major global events unfold. From World War II to the Russian-Ukraine War and even North Korea, meet the Wallenberg family, a family 3 times richer than the richest man in the world, and their main holding company being worth 10% Sweden's entire GDP. And they own everything from AstraZeneca to the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. But how does one family exert such a vast influence? And how did they build such an insane empire that spans over 5 generations?
This is why I firmly believe that none of our world leaders actually call the shots. The people who actually call the shots stay out of the public's eye.
You see these two guys right here? They were 17 years old. This guy was 45, he was 21, these two were 23, and she was 44. Which begs the question, why did people used to look so old? Feels like every year a picture or video goes viral online, which has people asking the question, did people used to look older than they do today? And I mean, the answer is yes. These two were supposed to be 45 years old in this picture, and this is what a 45-year-old looks like today. And yes, you could say plastic surgery or whatever, but the truth is, even high schoolers used to look way older. At the end of the day, there are a number of factors playing into this, like a significant increase in sun protection, a decrease in cigarette and alcohol consumption, and just healthier diets. But a really interesting theory that I came across recently is that it all comes down to hydration. During the 1990s, there was a massive push to start drinking more water, and since then, bottled water has continued to rise in popularity. In 2016, it became the most popular beverage category in the world, and now, bottled water accounts for 1/3 of the entire global beverage market, which is one of the major reasons that people look a lot younger today.
The reason that we all look younger today is because of bottled water, and the microplastics might actually be making us immortal.
Let's talk about Miley Cyrus.
I hate that thought, because I think microplastics are actually poisoning us. I think you're going to find out there's some really bad side effects from that at some point in the future.
Here we see her doing the one-eye symbolism in an all-black outfit with a red backdrop. Here we see her doing it again for a photo shoot. Here we see her wearing Lil Nas X shoes that...
So, I don't know if this is true. You think if it were true, there'd be a ton of these one-eye photos. It seems coincidental. Every single person does like a winky face or something. And I don't know how true any of this is.
Had a pentagram on it where she states this in the caption. Away from the obvious and right-in-your-face symbolism, her transformation from her days from Hannah Montana to what she became after tells it all. I mean, it is literally the same playbook for almost every single pop star of all time. They started out on Disney or Nickelodeon and captured children's hearts and minds. Then, like clockwork, every single time, once they have that audience, they change from something like this into a newer and more provocative version. For those who have never seen it, here's a video for when she first really transformed her whole persona from the VMAs.
I just have one other thing to say that you guys should be thinking about in the back. When Miley Cyrus did this, I remember when she did this. Everybody knew her as Hannah Montana back then. Everyone knew her as that. She was the wholesome, goody two shoes Hannah Montana. Always played it straight, and she wanted to break out from that and not be known as that. And I can understand that. So she could have a wider range of things that she could do. She could sing different songs, the ones that or write different songs, the ones she really wanted to do that were more adult-oriented versus kid-oriented. So to do that, she needed to break out of that role, which then prompted all of this to happen. Now, things have progressed, and I almost think it's mental, but I think that's a really good reason as to why she was acting that way.
Even if all those examples aren't enough to prove that there's something dark going on in Hollywood, literally look at her Gucci ad. Here I think we see it even better. Quite simply, she seems to be a prime example in many people's minds of how dark Hollywood can be. People are even saying the light is gone from her eyes and there's something.
This kind of seems demonic because it seems like it's really transforming her body physically.
Missing. Wake up.
If I was Miley Cyrus, I would move as far away from Hollywood as possible because whatever ritual she's been doing out there has her looking like Jigsaw.
I kid you not, we have uncovered a real mystery.
There's a room in there.
We are renovating a Cecilia Platzer from 1850, but beneath our garage apartment lies an ancient stable, and at the end of the stable, we found a sealed door. The previous owner had no idea what was behind it, so of course it's time to find.
So it's been sealed for hundreds of years at least, possibly thousands. And this is like a stable, and they sealed it off. My guess is it's going to go to like the sewers or a vast network of tunnels or something like that, which is why they sealed it off, so that nothing that was wandering around down there would come in and possibly kill the horses or steal or whatever they had going on at the time. Make it a lot harder to enter in.
Now, but first, we had to deal with a swarm of flies with a gentle, demure.
That's never a good sign. Swarm of flies. That's kind of starting off with a little of the demonic, the little touch of demonic there.
Alex tried to make a tiny opening to send in the camera, but all we saw was solid stone. So he removed a small stone on top, just enough to slide our arm in and shoot some footage with a phone. And then we discovered a man-made cave, nearly filled with stone, with a sleek, rounded ceiling. But what was that?
Whoa. That was
Later,
creepy.
back inside, I looked at the footage on my phone and saw what looked like a glimmer of light. My oldest son calmly said, "You mean the eyes?" And I screamed. That's when the brainstorming started. Could there be a tunnel leading further from the cave? Could a cat have sneaked in from a neighbor's basement? We wondered if we could try to clear out, but the cave extends beneath the street in front of the house. So we called our architect Sebastiano, who arrived just 30 minutes later to take a look.
Oh, the eyes?
The cat? I don't know.
It is yours.
Okay.
If you want to remove it, there is no problem.
Maybe it's treasure's gold.
Gold?
And you think we should try to open it up?
If this was me, this house would be relisted on Zillow by the end of the day. I'm not living anywhere that has a real life.
So, if the eyes are still glowing or reflecting at that point, like it didn't move, then odds are it's not living, whatever is down there. So I would open it up. I'd take it out. I'd find out what's in there. You got to know. Knowing is better than not knowing.
A boo-boo in the basement.
I want to hear your skinwalker story.
Okay. 2 summers ago, I went to a tiny little mountain town in Colorado. It's beautiful, but it's kind of creepy. And there's a guy named Joe, and he has the scariest skinwalker story ever. He's in this town in Colorado. They're driving middle of the night, pitch black, no light pollution, nothing. And they see a deer in the road, and they slow down, and it doesn't move. When they pass by it, they kind of look at the face, and it looks peculiar. They're like, did a double take, like, what the heck? They keep driving. He looks in the rearview mirror, and the deer still didn't move, and it's turning, like, towards his car and following their car.
Oh, no.
He speeds up a little bit, and the deer is running faster now, like 30, 40 miles an hour, following behind their car. He gets up on his hind legs, and they're going like 70 now, and it runs all the way up to his window right here. He's driving, and it runs to the window, and it's banging on the door, and it has like a human face. They sped up enough to where it couldn't keep up anymore. But the next morning, like, the car is like torn up. The window is just like completely wrecked. There's scratches and like dents all over the driver's side door, and they said it was just the scariest thing. And my friend told.
So, what's really kind of creepy about that, or even creepier could be, is if those dents and scratches and stuff weren't there when they got out the previous night. So they make it to their destination, wherever that is, and are like, whew, thank God we got away from that thing, whatever it was, you know. They get a nice shot to relax the nerves, go to bed, wake up the next morning, find all the claw marks and dents that were not there the previous night. So the thing, that would mean it literally followed them to their house and did all that damage. That would creep me out even more than that.
Story while we're out in the middle of nowhere on a ranch fishing. I'm like, is he about to kill me, dude? This is so scary.
Getting chased down the street by a shapeshifter sounds terrifying. I would be driving 88 miles per hour like I'm in a DeLorean.
Why is Vietnam the testing ground for the new banking order?
What?
Well, recently, Vietnam imposed a requirement for a digital ID, including a biometric scan of everyone in order to have a bank account. And what they did to enforce this is they closed 86 million bank accounts and seized all of the assets in those accounts. So the owners of those accounts have no ability to do banking or access their funds because they chose not to sacrifice their privacy and submit to this biometric surveillance tracking mechanism. Well, this is not something that is going to stay in Vietnam. This is a test because if we look at, for example, what's going on with the European Central Bank and Digital ID initiative in Europe, as well as the Real ID and the CBDC system FedNow being imposed in the United States, we can see that it is coming to us as well. So what are you going to do about it?
I feel like the New World Order is unfolding before our eyes, and unless we all wake up right now and start fighting this tooth and nail, this is going to be a reality for all of us.
I don't know. I don't know what we can do about it, other than, I mean, there are people and doomsday preppers, really, who have food containers and stuff that last 20, 30, 40 years. And they have enough of it to last 20, 30, 40, 50 years for their entire family. And all of that is buried in a place they have prepared. So when that gets imposed, they don't have to rely on the system anymore. They leave. They're going to leave and go somewhere else and do, and you know, be outside of the system, and they'll be just fine.
This has to either be curtains blowing in the wind or a cat's tail, because if I saw this on my baby's monitor, I'm not wasting time filming it. I'm busting in his room in full riot gear.
This thing is a real-life shape-shifting demon in the form of a little girl.
Allegedly, this mysterious girl is known as the Little Red Girl in Taiwan. And this is a true story. In 1998, a family went hiking on the Dakeng hiking trail in Taichung, Taiwan. And they recorded everything on their V8 digital camera for memories of this family outing. Unfortunately, a few weeks later, one of the family members passed on. And the family, wanting to find some solace, went back to review the footage. And this is when things started getting a bit weird. In the footage, the family member who passed on appeared to have large fangs like a demon. The family also noticed this little red girl trailing behind them. But everyone on the trip said that they did not recall a little girl in red following them or even being in their vicinity. So who was this mysterious red girl? I mean, somebody come and pick up their daughter lah. Why are you letting your daughter roam around this dangerous forest like that? This story was so big that a popular ghost program in Taiwan picked it up, and the editor for this program claims to have been haunted by this little red girl. While editing the program, he said that the girl would appear in certain footages, but when he looked back at the same footage, the girl would disappear. He was so afraid that he rushed home from the office, but later that night during his sleep, he was awakened by a loud bang in his room. He woke up and saw the little red girl sitting on his desk staring straight at him. Ugh. I find it very fascinating when folklore crosses into real life. I mean, we have real footage of this little red girl.
The footage looks legit, but we're going to move on to the next clip, because if I wake up in the middle of the night and I see this girl sitting on my dresser, there's a good chance I might actually have a heart attack.
Is this the reason that these palaces all over the world look so out of place? And now we get these horrible, basic, demoralizing boxes to look at. Now we can all ask questions, since we basically know that the mainstream history that we've all been told is filled with a ton of lies, where we get clues and destruction of our past right after this date of 1776. We get all of the great fires, where the mainstream narrative gives us basically 0 lives taken, yet complete and total destruction of all of these cities. Is this not something that the one that just broke out of the pit would do? That he should deceive the nations no more until the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. After he should be loosed a little season, catacombs, great fires, complete chaos.
So that's in Revelation. And that's after the 1,000-year reign of Christ. So what he's doing there, I don't believe relates to what he's showing here. I just don't think that, because, I mean, like Christ's golden city comes down, he reigns for 1,000 years. It's very clear in the Bible what happens. And then you have, like, he's trapped for 1,000 years, the enemy. And then at the end of that time, he has to be loosed for a short time. And I think that's because he then tempts everybody one last time, and those who fall away join his armies in Armageddon, which is the last battle between the army of God and his army. And then they clash, and he's defeated, and everybody's thrown into the lake of fire at that point. So, yeah. Don't think it's related. Historically here, I do think there was some sort of wiping of history. I don't know about 1776, but it does seem to be like we went from this beautiful architecture and beautiful carvings and stuff to really cheap materials and boxy, square structures. And things used to be much more beautiful and carved out and just artistic. And that's everywhere in the world. I mean, there's a train station in not Nepal, in India, and it's beautiful. It's just amazingly big. Everything's carved, ornate, and all across the United States, you have these big, beautiful structures of churches and well carved out. And then around, I want to say 1930, 1940, we just stopped. And the reason I think we stopped isn't really any historical thing. It's because the materials and the architecture that we use now are cheap. It's easy to construct. Simple designs. It's cheap, easy. It's form of function over design. Yeah. So you don't get those awesome structures anymore.
Wars, total manipulation, worldwide confusion for decades. The food that we're fed, the water, inverting everything, calling it Lady Liberty when it's really a man, power, control, separating families, creating 2 asylums, an orphan asylum for the kids and an insane asylum for the adults, resetting everything, and then sending us back to the horse and wagon era, entrapping us on this false map. All technology being reset. Traffic. And I'm not talking about the cars. Financial difficulties for 99%. Holding interest on currency or usury. Everything that a morally good individual would never do to a population.
I honestly feel like half of the reason for all of this chaos is to keep us from questioning the narrative and the agenda.
Whatever this is completely natural, and science still has no explanation for it. Oh, dude, that's just CGI. Well, joke's on you, cause it's real. This glowing orb of plasma or electricity or something that slowly hovers around and can cause some pretty devastating effects. It's called ball lightning, or centella globular, and it was first formally documented in 1195 AD, said to be a very rare natural weather phenomenon, much like regular lightning, but it sticks around for a lot longer than your classic split-second strike, drifting and hovering for up to a minute before disappearing, often with a bang. With many people reporting, it can even go through walls. It's so rare that for centuries, scientists thought it was fake, just an urban legend people made up since video evidence didn't exist yet, so anyone who claimed to have seen it couldn't prove it. Many pilots insisted to have witnessed it mid-flight, and even Nikola Tesla himself experienced it, was so intrigued that he even reported recreating his own ball lightning in a lab in 1904. Is there anything this guy didn't do? Now, to be fair, some videos of this online are just visual effects, CGI, like this one right here, but the phenomena itself is very real, and we just have no idea what they are. Theories range from plasma created by electrical discharges, a rare type of lightning, or specific chemical reactions caused by lightning striking the ground, possibly even alien technology, or interdimensional beings interacting with our reality, which, if you ask me, is exactly what they are.
I get that it's super rare, but I still feel like if this is a naturally occurring phenomenon, there would be a lot more photo and video evidence of it, so I'm leaning towards it being something paranormal.
There was a lot right there.
Let me know what you guys think about this one.
Look at this unidentified flying object that was seen over London. This is absolutely profound, mate. Okay, this was sent in to me. Northwest London, Hornchurch, this was filmed, right? Right here it says, the family member who is a keen plane spotter described the object as being approximately the size of an aeroplane. Completely static and ominous, giving him the sense of seeing a spider times 10,000 foot up in the air, I'm guessing is what he's trying to say. Some point shortly after the sighting, the skies were empty. They did not see it move away. On the third photo, you can see 2 objects, the bizarre object in the center and a metallic object in the top left of the screen that was not observed before the photo was taken. But in the footage I've just shown you, right, you can see the metallic object glinting. They're both glinting and shining, right? Which is very strange, and it looks like the kind of same similar objects that were seen in Saladin and Mosul in Iraq that I shared just yesterday, right? Of this strange, weird phenomena that no one can really understand or know what they are.
If this video is real, it's either interdimensional or a biological UFO, meaning the craft itself is a living.
One other thing that it could be is there are certain angels described in the Bible that look kind of like this. They have thousands of eyes, and the description is crazy. Cherubim, Cherubim, I think, are the little fat baby ones. But the seraphim are the crazy wheel-like angels that have hundreds of eyes, and yeah, they're crazy looking. This could be something like that.
Creature. Grandpa might actually have superpowers, because I thought he was just about to bless the food. I didn't expect him to Kamehameha the whole table like that. But that was the video, guys.
I think that was pure coincidence right there at the end. Let me know what you guys think about some of those videos, and just share your thoughts, and let me know what you guys think. All right. Again, we just hit 100, and yeah, we're doing pretty well. Gonna have another round of Hollow Knight tonight, and of course I died, so I got to go back and get my body and fight the new boss that I just found. So let's do that. I'll set it up. Give me 5 minutes or so, and we'll be back at that time. Until then, be good to each other, and I'll